Kathy. Hello, Sheila.
Hello,
Not
lovely
seen it
lady.
pop up on my second device yet.
No, I haven't either. That's okay. Delay. Let's hope Nikki stays clear today, too. Fingers crossed. Oh, I look clear. That's good. Okay.
Yeah, you're good so far.
I'm good so far. Let's stay that
Man.
way. But then again, I'm always good at this point. It's when we go to try to sell things that all of a sudden I get all fuzzy and wonky all of a sudden.
The Wi-Fi's like, nope. No, we don't want to work.
No.
Sheila,
And it's only here.
I did get your message on YouTube about wanting to be invoiced. I packed it up and then realized I didn't have a box that fit it. So I've got to go pick up boxes from my brother. He saves them for me. So, and hello, awesome. Kathy. Hello, Sheila.
Don't forget to hit that thumbs up for Claudia on your way in. She needs it. We needs it for our show. So we can keep teaching you guys about the cool glass. And you know what? I realized, because today's funny because we're doing Hen on Nest today. Last week I was at a antique store and the guy knew all his antiques. And he had, I told you this, Claudia, but didn't tell that he had 2 white milk glass Hen on Nest, identical. I said, well, how much for them? And he was like, well, I want like 50 for the pair, which is totally like, right ballpark. So he says, yeah, the Fenton ones. And I'm sitting there going, no, you mean the Indiana ones. I don't want to correct the guy, but he was really wrong. So this is how much this show is helping me as a person going out to find things. So I can only hope it's helping everybody else as well. When you're sitting there and you're going, nope, that's Indiana glass, dude. It's not, that doesn't even look, Fenton and Indiana Hen on Nest look completely different. But, whatever, you do you. I wasn't going to correct the man who owns a building and an auction house.
And people love to slap a Fenton label on anything glass that they don't want to take the time to identify.
They like do.
Fenton. It's Fenton. Probably Fenton.
Yeah, it's Fenton. Yeah. And then the other thing I thought was funny this week when it comes to glass was I have a piece that I looked up and somebody had listed it as antique. And somebody needs to learn how to do math because I have a piece today that's from the 40s and somebody had listed it as antique. That is not antique, people. Antique is 100 years. We can argue about the label of vintage. Is it 20 years? Is it 25 years? Is it 30 years? You can't argue antique.
I've come across that a lot.
Yeah. Little pet peeves. Oh, goodness gracious.
But even now, I'm learning there were things I misidentified back when I started this a year and a half ago. And I'm like, oh my goodness, other people who knew more must have thought I sounded so stupid.
Yes. And I hate that.
You can't know everything. You just can't.
No, you can't. You can only look up and go as far as what, in the beginning at least, what your camera and maybe what a book can show you. Yeah. And outside of that, you have to end up by typing in so many different words to go, holy crap, that's it right there. Where was it when the picture, and I don't understand.
Yes, Sheila.
I don't understand.
Hi, Cass. Well, I just learned just this past week, that the Argonaut candy dish that I've shown several times on here by Westmoreland, that mold was bought and Viking Dalzell produced it in other colors. Because that Viking guy, I can't remember if that's his actual name or if it's a different, but he's like the expert. He has the biggest Viking collection I've ever seen one person own.
Oh wow.
And he posted the Argonaut candy dish and I'm like, why is he saying that's Viking? And so I scroll through, there's literally a Viking sticker stuck to it. And somebody must have, I didn't say that, but somebody else must have said, well, that's not Viking. So he had to make a second post and defend it and say, yes, it is. Here's the catalog. They bought the molds off Westmoreland. And I'm like, I had no idea. Hi, Becky. Yes, it can be hard to identify. And that's why I've noticed, like Crazy Lamp Lady, because she sells such a large volume.
Yeah.
That, like, if you go look at her eBay, it will say signed art glass. It does not identify it as Murano. It does not identify even the artist that signed it. It just says artist signed art glass or something like that. So she doesn't even try to identify it sometimes.
Yeah. And the books are seriously the best thing you can get a hold of. And if you can find now on Pinterest, and I don't have a Pinterest account anymore. I can never get the pictures big enough. But on Pinterest, there are tons and tons of people who have put up the catalog pages individually with the items and everything on them. And if you can get in close enough, you can kind of start to distinguish what's what.
You would not believe how many Fenton catalogs from the 60s and 70s I scrolled through online yesterday trying to identify the pieces I had up for sale today.
Yes.
So many.
And with my Fenton book, there's one and only one hen on nest pictured in my Fenton book, which I was like, what? They made so many different styles of these, but I only found one in my book. So sometimes there are separate books though for this that we're going to talk about today. There are a couple of different hen on nest books because they're very collectible. They really are.
All right, we have enough people in here, I think,
we're going
to get started. So I'm going to say this now. I'll say it in the middle, and I'll say it at the end again so everybody knows. We will not be live next week, but we will post a static sale on my channel it'll go up at the same time that we are normally live. I'm not even going to do it as a premiere because I'm going to be out of town, so I can't even be in the chat to talk to you guys. But because my sister's on spring break, and it was her one day to do something, and we've been trying to get together. So we will not be live next week, but we will have a static sale, and some stuff's gonna take some markdowns, so you don't want to miss that.
Yes.
All right, let me change the layout. And if I missed you coming in and saying hi, hello, thanks for hanging out with us. Okay, so we are talking about hen on nest, and I do have some for sale, but I also wanted to show you these are not for sale. These little salt dip ones, they're so adorable.
They are.
Oh my goodness, I love them. And the first time I saw one of these, I'm like, I didn't even know it existed. I'm like, no way. It was back in 2020, maybe 2021. And, ooh, Sheila, that's cool. And the first one I ever saw, it was so expensive. It was in a locked case, but you could see the price. And I'm like, who would pay that for that? And then I've watched them go for crazy prices. And I'm like, oh, everybody pays that for those.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have a bottom. I have a icy pink bottom to one, and I am on the hunt for the top to this one because these pinks are very different. But those are mine. And then I had two of the ones I'm going to sell today. I had purchased, I've kept for a while, and I'm just like, I'm not a hen on nest person. It was nostalgia because my mom had one in the living room when I was growing up that we kids broke. But I'm not a hen on nest person, so they are going to be up for sale today. Hi, Rebecca. Yeah, I love the little ones. Those little ones can safely sit in with the rest of my salt cellar collection, but the hen on nest are just kind of sitting in a random spot. They don't go with anything else in here, so
I want one. I have no nostalgia. I've never seen them before until I started reselling. I didn't even know what they were. And I sold the little one, yes, to Angela, but I wanted a bigger one. I found one. I gave it to my daughter, and I'm still on the hunt for one that I want in my kitchen that I find.
I will absolutely someday own a swan on nest because they're gorgeous and they'll fit with my swans. But yeah, the hen on nest, I did it purely for nostalgia's value, and I have loved watching them sit over there, but they don't match anything. Okay, so hen on nest, where did they come from? So there are at least 100 glass companies that have produced 190 to 200. There were two different numbers on the websites. 190 to 250 forms or sizes of glass hen covered dishes over the past 150 years. They originated in England, and originally they were pottery pieces that were very expensive and only the rich people could buy them. And then when they came over here, we started producing them so that they were less expensive, and then they were mass produced for years. So there's a lot of companies in the United States that made them. The official name for these came from the Westmoreland Glass Company in the 1930s. So there were glass companies before that that were producing them, but Westmoreland in a catalog in the 1930s, or in an advertisement, I'm not sure which, started calling them hen on the nest. Collectors shortened it to hen on nest, and now HON is what they are just called in general. Between 1890 and 1910, they were used to package condiments, mainly mustard. How cool is that? They are little hen on nest with what your mustard came in. I love that. I thought that was the funnest thing. The sizes range from less than 2 inches up to 8 inches. Now, the standard hen on nest that we all know, Indiana glass, this is considered a 7-inch.
Mm-hmm.
So there were a couple companies that made them slightly bigger, but not much, just a tiny bit bigger than those. They were made in depression glass, milk glass, carnival glass, pressed glass, Victorian glass, lead crystal. Some of the companies were Atterbury, which we know to be a very old glass company, Challenor, which I'd never heard of, Sandwich, it's another old one, Central Glass, McKee, Westmoreland, Fenton, Indiana Glass, Imperial, Boyd, Mosser, and many, many more. Some of the shapes, besides the hen, frog, cat, fox, duck, turtle, cow, turkey. There was a horse one, Kaz. It was made by Dagenhart, so you can look that up. Lion, dog, pig, bunny, sheep, bird, owl, and swan. And then I have a couple of pictures to show you guys. And Nikki will show you many more pictures, but these were just a couple of special ones that I wanted to cover. Oh, we all know how slow it is trying to use my... Okay, so I wanted to know what the most expensive one that ever sold was. This was what came up. It is a Fenton. It's sold for $2,500, and it's blue, yellow, and green. So that was the most expensive one that I could find. That doesn't mean it. I kept finding the same regurgitated info on every single site, like 20 different sites had the same. Yeah. So it was very hard to find any new information beyond that one like article by one expert. And then look at this.
I love that one.
Slag glass. I don't even collect frogs, but it's just the coolest thing. And then the last thing that I wanted to show you guys while I've got this out is that right now on Instagram, Marigold Vintage Shop, there's her handle, I don't know actually. You can go find their shop on Instagram. They're giving away this Mosser bunny on Nest right now. They just reached 1,500 and they are doing a giveaway. It runs through, I think, Thursday. So you can go enter that giveaway if you like them and follow the instructions. There's instructions, but it's pretty simple. I did it this morning. It's very cool. So I wanted to show you those few things. The purple slag frog was a mold by LG Wright, but many companies produce them from LG Wright molds, which we've learned about how the molds got sold and distributed. I did want to make just a few points about Indiana glass because that is the most common and probably widely produced. Hi, Brenda. So the Indiana glass did not add this beading, which is very distinctive, and everybody goes, oh, well, that's Indiana glass when they see this beading. They did not add this beading until the late 50s, early 60s. And they only made the hen on nest in clear and milk glass until the late 60s. But after the late 60s, they made like every color. They made 20 to 30 colors. with finishes like the carnival glass. And there was, before they settled on this, the beads may have been separated for a year. The info couldn't confirm that, but it was suspected that they hadn't settled on this beaded edge like this. And so there may be more of a separation in some of the pieces that were in between those years before this is what they started producing all the time. Now, over the years, they did make some slight variations to these, like the feathers would go in a bit of a different direction, things like that. But for the most part, what they changed was the color, and they produced them for years and years. Now, some of the molds were recut or repaired throughout their life, so you will get slight variations. So even if there's a slight variation, it may still be an Indiana glass hen and not a cheap knockoff, because they use the same molds over and over again, and they were just repaired. You can see here there is more of an edge of very thin glass right here. And then on this one, there's not that edge. There's no edge of the thin glass here. But here, these pieces are smaller because the mold started to wear here in this spot. So it's really interesting that you'll find these slight variations. It doesn't take from the worth of the piece. They're just very slight variations because the molds were recut and repaired. And that was everything that I had.
Okay, now hen on nest does not just mean hen on nest. That's how it started, and then the forms exploded. So you might not like the hen on the nest, but maybe you like a different figure. Like, I don't know, maybe you like a boar. There's a boar. Or an eagle. Maybe you like the eagle. These are I love this bunny. This one particular bunny right there. Or the bunny with the eggs. Great for Easter. Lions up the wazoo. Here's a horse. There's the horse. This is for Kaz. That was done by McKee. That one right there.
Oh, so McKee did one that's different from the Degenhart one.
Then we have
Hi, East Coast Comics.
Hey, sweetheart. Then we have camels and wagons and a fish on a skip and a robin. This one was done by a couple different companies, the robin. And then we do the swans. Look at, these are Atterbury pieces. Look at the swans. Oop, whoop, move your finger over. Right there. The wings out. Oh, it's so pretty. Then we've got ducks. We've got ducks on nest. And we've got
that
cats.
One beside the duck, that was literally a bird on a nest.
Yeah, literally a bird on a nest. Let's see. We have fish. Let me find. Oh wait, this one's one of my favorites. I love this. We have cows. Cows with their heads come off. We've got this says it's a deer. I don't know. I don't see a deer. I see kind of like a dog shape. Squirrels. Squirrels on nuts. Squirrels on nuts. Why not? This one's disturbing. I find it looks just like a
hate this
fish.
one.
I don't like that one. But there's a couple of different fish. Like I said, there's cats. There's a cat on a bed. There's a whole duck. The whole duck. That one's kind of cool. And this is another fish one. This one's not as bad. We've got the yin and yang fish with little eyeballs. That one's kind of cool. And the Santas that we all know, by Westmoreland did probably the most of them. The Santas, they fall into this category as well. Didn't know that. That was kind of cool. Then you've got your Victorian ones that are painted. These are all milk glass. This is from a milk glass book. So these are really fun. Then they expanded the hen on nest. Fenton did a line of these, but they're similar, not completely similar, but they did a hen in the center, and then they would have little egg cups or little egg places on the side for your deviled eggs. And then you go into all the different sizes and shapes. So there you can see the different sizes and shapes of the hen on nest. Now, when it comes to, oh wait, and finally we've got a baby on a basket. Isn't he cute?
Oh my goodness, I've never seen that one.
And owls. The owls are really kind of cool too. I thought those were really, really neat. So they come in many different shapes, sizes, and forms. So how, if you have just a regular hen on nest, how do you identify them? So I went over and I looked up some of the identifying marks. So Claudia and I were talking beforehand, and it seems like Atterbury was like the ones who kind of started it off. Atterbury is a very, very old company, 1800s. Fenton copied Atterbury, but they made a few little tweaks. So if you have a piece that you think is Fenton, double check and make sure it's actually not Atterbury, which is way older. So Fenton birds will have a scalloped edge most of the times. They have a scalloped edge on their base, all right? They have a small head with bulging eyes. Some of the hens on nests will have bulgy eyes. Hello. Some will have almond-shaped eyes, but hen on nest, theirs are bulging eyes. Fentons are also 8 inches in length, so they're bigger than the Indiana glass ones. And the hen on top, and sometimes it has like a smooth base. So those are a few little things. And when you look at their fan tail, it looks more like a fan, whereas some of the other ones, actually, you can kind of count each individual tail feather. All right. So Indiana, Claudia showed you the Indiana, almost always has a beaded edge. They did have a smooth rim, but it almost always has a beaded edge. They have almond eyes and little dots for pupils in the center. Excuse me, the hen's comb on the tippy top up there will have little round beads going down on the top up there. Oh, the other thing with Fenton, then Fenton had I jumped right to Indiana. Isn't that awesome? The other thing with Fenton is they also had a 5-inch one, and they had a little slightly smaller one. The Fenton's comb, their little comb up there, has little round balls at the back of their comb, and then it sits with eggs under each of its tails that are slightly different shapes or sizes. And then in the front, there's a pair of ones underneath as well. So you'll actually see the eggs on the Fenton pieces. Now, Boyd made them. Boyd made them in 5 inches, 3 inches, and 2.5 inches. Boyd marked theirs. Now, here's the thing with hen on nest. Most of the time, they're not marked. If not all the time, they're almost never marked. But Boyd marked theirs. So that's a really good, helpful one there. Boyd has a longer neck. You'll see with some of the other ones, like their necks like this, but Boyd actually went, no, they have necks. They have more pointy tail feathers and 4 little round balls for their little hen comb up there. Mosser had on the base, it was a flat scalloped edge. So instead of like Fentons, which would go up, the Mosser ones laid like this. And it almost looks like petals. That's what I'll call it, petals. They have lidded almond eyes. You can see it actually have like a little eyelid. They have a wavy comb on the top, and they have 6 tail feathers. And they go from larger to smaller. The smallest one's really, really tiny. Anchor hawking probably has the most interesting shapes if you don't like them, but maybe you're a peep fan, because to me they remind me of peeps. They're very marshmallowy round. A lot of the anchor hawking ones are very marshmallowy round, and they look like peeps. So those are some of the main guys that sell them. But let me tell you, if you come across an Atterbury one, oh my Lord, pick it up. They're going to be ornate. They're going to be highly decorative. They're going to have lacy edges, and they're worth a lot more. And you know what? $20 for a going rate for an Indiana glass hen on nest, which is very, very common, is a very good price. So if you can find them for less than that, pick them up. You'll make money. And that's all I got on those. So hen on nest is a lot more than just a hen on nest. That's the whole point.
Hi, Georgia. All right, I'll let you start since you're up. Although I think it's my week to start first.
I shall start. That's all right. I shall start. Okay, so this round I'm going to do, I have a choice here. I've shown these before, so you're going to have a choice of solo candlesticks. I think I've got 1 or 2 more solo candlesticks I have to dig out. So I rescue them because I don't like seeing them sit on the shelves. And because sometimes you just want 1 candle. You don't need more than 1. So this one here, this is the first one. This is a Westmoreland piece, and that flashing or staining that's in there is in perfect condition. This is the Donna or Duna, I can't remember exactly the pattern, but it's all these little fruits and veggies, grapes, apples, pears, really nice condition. We got 4 seam lines, which is awesome, and a real pretty little scallop top. So that's the first one in the choice. The other one is just this kind of reminiscent of Viking blue neck. You can see I have lots of blue today. Look, my nails match that one. So pulled out the blue nails as well. This is a very simple shape. This one actually is very interesting. It's hollow on the bottom, so it's not flat. Like most of your candlestick holders are flat. Have no idea who made this piece. No idea at all. This is more, like I said, in the blue leaf. So you get your choice, either the Westmoreland piece or the blue piece. And if you're interested in my solo candlesticks, my solo candle babies, their choice $7, number 90. $7, number 90 for choice on the candlesticks. Ooh, let me put those down.
I always pick up the solo candlesticks as well. They deserve love too.
Yes. I have a Fenton one that I have keeping out on display. There's no reason why you can't have just one. Sometimes you just need one. And I see Brenda is in for that. Which one would you like, Brenda? The choice is yours. Brenda McGee. The Westmoreland, you got it. Thank you, thank you. Now, I don't have any henna nets. Like I said earlier, I'm still on the hunt for the one that's going to make me drool. And I kind of want to find it on my own. I know that's really horrible.
Yeah.
Like, I can just buy one, but I kind of want to find it. That's part of the fun.
There's a thrill about finding it in the wild.
Yes. Instead, I brought an egg plate. Now, I think, and I'm leaning Westmoreland on this because it is super, the back of this is just, like, I think the back is prettier than the front. I would display this on the wall just like that. It is so pretty. I wish they had, it's very like Art Deco-y in style. I love the back of this. Now, the gold is there. It is wearing in spots, as the gold will do. There you can see right there. It's worn a little bit. And it's not massive. When you look at it from a distance, you don't even notice it. There it is there too. Plate is 10.5 inches across, but when you're looking at it, it looks like all the gold's there. It's just slightly worn when you get close in. But I love this. I actually think this is an older Westmoreland piece just because of the style. If it's Westmoreland at all, but that's where I'm leaning. So if you're interested in the gorgeous little egg plate, you might only have like one egg in there this year. Who knows? I don't know. Maybe get pretty painted eggs. I don't know. $10, number 75. And those are my two.
And Easter's coming. That is a necessity.
Yeah.
And whoever said they liked, thank you. I don't remember who said that earlier, but I'm still working on it. It's not done yet, but I did get some of my springy pieces out there. And sun is shining. We've had a lot of rain. It feels like spring. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. Did you get Brenda?
I did. Thank you, Brenda.
Okay, so my first two items are, well, actually my first four items are all going to be hand on but this is the Indiana Glass Amber Hen on Nest. 7 inches. It is your classic hen on nest. No chips, no cracks. And I have no idea where I picked this one up. I know the green one I bought from Florida's Vintage Hunter, but this one, I don't know. Now, right here, you're not even going to be able to see as a flea bite. But I do believe, oh no, right here. That one you can see a little bit. So, bottom, no chips, no cracks on the bottom. Top has a couple of flea bites. These are the ones that sit down in so you don't see it. But no damage to the comb or the tail feathers.
That's the important bit.
So, and it's a really pretty amber.
Yeah. It's like iridescent.
Yeah, it's not the super dark and it's not the super light. It's just, to me, this is like just a true amber color. It's so pretty. It's going to be $20, number 11. $20, number 11. And then my second one is and I searched through Indiana Glass trying to figure out if they called this color anything specifically. I'm going to go with an avocado green. It is that typical avocado green color that they did. So no chips, no cracks to the bottom. But like I said, right here, these beads are just a bit smaller than the rest. So that would have been a mold They're perfectly rounded. It was just a mold that had been repaired. There's the bottom. And then let's see. Okay, I don't even think we have a flea bite on this edge at all. I don't see one. But exact same size. No issues with the comb. No issues with the tail feather. And these are both 7 inches. This is the standard Indiana glass hen on nest. And also $20, number 4. $20, number 4. And this is the color that my mom had when we were growing up. And when I asked her if she wanted it, I'm like, do you want me to replace it? She's like, no.
No, that's okay.
No.
We're good.
She was good. She likes her clear glass. She did not want any green glass.
No, that's good. Okay. So I had shown y'all I had a pink one of these. It is since sold. I now have a green one I found, and this is a lovely shade of green. It is a Fenton Easter bunny with a little basket on his back. Now, I'm still not 100% sure if this was supposed to be a toothpick holder or if this was supposed to be an egg cup. I'm calling it an egg cup because of the little conical shape that the basket actually has. We've got little scallopy guys there along the edges, and then the bunny's ears just kind of go into the basket. It's really hard to see, but that's its ear right there. And he's just hippity hopping along. Nice base there. So it is 3 inches, like 3.5 inches. He's somewhere in between. This is a really pretty color green. I looked these up to see color wise. There aren't many of these out there. I think one other person had this particular color on Etsy, and it was the only other color in this shade because they did a mint green one. They did these in all different colors. So I just thought I would grab him. I found him this weekend when I was up in New Paltz. So if you're interested in my little Fenton glass bunny baby, he's going to be $15, number 91. $15, number 91 on this little baby guy. I love this color. Oh, that's cool. I'm glad you like that. Okay, I see. Oh, geez Louise. Do you have Vicky first?
I see Vicky first, yeah.
Okay. I got Vicky first on that one.
But man, that was close.
Yeah, it was. Thank you.
I love that you found another one of those in a different color. That's fantastic.
And of course, I found another pink one too, but I was like, I had the pink one already. I want the green one.
I've never seen those.
Oh, they're so cute. Especially for this time of the year. That's why I picked them up. All right, this next piece is a bit of a stumper. All right, first I'm going to show, look at the detail in the top of that. It is so cool. It reminds me of like an iris, like when irises kind of bud. That's kind of what it reminds me of. So it's a cobalt base. It is, I think this one is 6 inches. Hey, Helen. Yeah, 6.5 inches. Now this is a stumper. When I looked this up, this is coming up check glass. Bohemian Cobalt check glass. Wait, there's a surprise. It's got this on the bottom. Underwood 98 USA. So somebody put this on. I looked up Underwood. Underwood did do cobalt glass, but they did bottles, and it was more of an impression on their blue cobalt bottles. I'm leaning that maybe this was something to somebody. That the Underwood and the year, that maybe this was a gift and they just had it done up. This is a blown glass piece. I've seen them listed, like I said, most of them were listed as Czech and Bohemian. 1 or 2 people had them listed as French. I didn't care. I just really loved the deep cobalt, and just that top was everything. Really, really gorgeous piece. And if you're interested in my cobalt blue with the fancy, I don't know, maybe you're a Carrie Underwood fan. I don't know. Who knows? $12, number 87. Just $12, number 87, because I can't say for sure that it's Czech or not, this, whoever Underwood made the piece. And those are my 2, darling. Oh,
boy, the top of that is really unusual.
Oh, it's
really
so
like that. All right, so if you're here every week, you've seen this one before, but this is the piece that kind of inspired our whole Hen on Nest episodes. This is the lime one. Now, these normally go for $60, but there is some pretty significant shipping Once again, it's hidden. There, you can see it. It's hidden once the lid is on, but it does have those chippies. So no damage to the bottom. The beading is good on this one. It's this gorgeous lime green, which is a harder to find color. Indiana glass. So same size as the other two. And this one is going to be $30, which is a really good deal. Really good deal on that one. And this one,
totally.
perfect for this time of year. And then I've got this one. So what we didn't cover was that then in the 80s, there were import companies that started making hen on nest. They jumped on that bandwagon. So I have one made in Taiwan. It's a little one. So let me show you size-wise. So there's a size-wise comparison. So you can see right here on the bottom, it says made in Taiwan. So this one was made in Taiwan. Now I will show you why it is only going to be $5. If you look right here, the front of its comb has been broken off, which I had no idea when I bought it. So that's why it has lived with me for the last year or so.
I had no idea. Looked like peacocky. So I was like, maybe, yeah.
Didn't realize it until I got it home that this was broken off. So he's lived in my collection, but like I said, I am not going to collect him on nests. So he's only going to be $5. He's this gorgeous green. I don't know if he's coming across as pretty. But a lot of nice detail for it being made in Taiwan. It's got, feathers here. It's got the basket weave on the basket. Just $5. $5 and number 19.
That's a good deal.
And those are mine too.
And I love its little comb though, because it looks like a crown. I don't care that it's broken. I love that it looks like a crown. Oh, okay. Forgive me. This one is actually a little dusty, so sorry. This is Indiana Windsor Royal Brighton Candy Dish. So it has the lovely caning. Looks like the Windsor, like the caning of a chair there. This is a perfect condition. There are no, I say that and I just felt something. Hold on. Oh, it's the mold mark. Never mind. That's the seam on the inside. Sometimes the seams are a little bit more raised than you expect. So it has that great little flared base. And the top, I love the little nubby on the top. This is just a great candy dish. I think it'd be great for those veggies as well to serve. I've seen Claudia's mom's setting a table, and let me tell you, I love it. I love that she puts all of the food in the fancy dishes every day. And you just, hey, Bridget, thank you. So really pretty, excellent condition. Even the inside lid is nice and smooth. Put back together there. And if you're interested in the Indiana Royal Windsor, it's going to be $18, number 78. $18, number 78 on that, baby. And my next one, the spring is coming. I know. I'm crossing my fingers it'll be here soon. So I've had this for a little bit, so I thought I'd bring it back. I was using it too. I've used it in the springtime because it fits daffodils really nicely. So it's got hobnail there. It's got the short little hobnail. Then it's got the longer hobnail. So this is anchor hocking. Anchor hocking, a tulip base, scalloped edge. Really great for those big, huge bouquets. I love this one. This guy's 10 inches tall. So you have those long daffodils, irises, those big, long spring flowers, tulips. They look gorgeous in here. That's where mine were last year. Hey, Bonnie. So if you're interested in the anchor hocking trumpet vase 10-incher, and it's narrow too, which I like, so you can kind of stick that in places. $10, number 73. Here we go. $10, number 73 on this baby. And it was all mine too.
All right. So I don't normally do offer ups, but this one's going to be an offer up for choice. So put it in there. going to be choice. They're going to start at $12, and both are Ron Ray 1990. Both of them. So you can never see these, but Ron Ray 1990. And here's the shape of this one. No damage to either of these. And then this one, Ron Ray 1990. So here's the difference in their shapes. This one's a little bit longer and more streamlined. This one looks like a little chunky baby chickie. If there's any interest, I pulled all of my bluebirds of happiness, and because I've been gifted some things and now I don't have room on that shelf. So I've got to give up some of my personal things, and so I decided that the Ron Rays could go. The Leo wards that I have, and I don't know if other people have found this in their bluebirds of happiness, they're actually a bit of a darker blue. All of my Leo wards are darker than my Ron Rays. So
I don't know. I have one that's my year of graduation and one that's John's year of graduation. The only two that I own, and I don't know how different the colors are. I never thought to look.
yeah, I didn't realize it either until I pulled them all off the shelf, dust the shelf, and rearranged things. And I'm like, and I grouped them together, and I'm like, oh my goodness, all of the Leo ward are darker than all of the Ron Ray that I have. And if there's no interest in little bluebirds,
no, I think I saw 12. I see 12.
Oh,
Brent
I didn't see
12.
that. No,
yeah.
you're right. Let me. Oh, there it is. It jumped. There's Brenda at 12. Thanks, Brenda.
That happens sometimes.
12.
All of a sudden the chat goes, whoop.
And we've got a screen that's like this big to see it. It just jumped right off the screen, so I didn't even see it. Is there any other interest in little bluebirds? I can tell you, height-wise, just over 2 inches on both of them, and then lengthwise, 2 1/4 on that one, and 2 inches on this one. So basically the 2x2.
Oh, and Helen's in at 13.
Awesome. They're little bluebirds. Ron Ray 1990. I graduated in 91, so if it had been in 91, I might have had a problem giving them up. I've enjoyed my collection, but I have 5 of the Leo Ward ones, and then I have a yellow, a red, a tiny red bird. I think, did I get that from you?
You might have, yeah, because I dropped the other one and broke it.
And then I have a red one that looks like a swan, an amberina one. So there's Brenda in at 14.
I've only ever had the blue, the red, which I sold the red because I wasn't into the red, and a black one, which I'm still kicking myself that I sold it.
Yeah, I'm still on the hunt for a green, which is my birthstone, or a purple, which is my favorite color. I will find them in the wild someday.
Yeah. I'm not saying when I graduated.
Helen.
She graduated last year. That's how young Helen is.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and count it down. Let me go ahead and type in there. Okay. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and stop.
Oh, okay. I was waiting. I was going to do the stop. I was watching your little. I'm lagging more than you are.
So Brenda, do you want number 1 or number 2? Or do you want both? At 14 apiece.
Chunky.
The chunky. So number 2?
They're adorable. I think they're cool.
And Helen, do you want the other one for 13?
Congrats on the 50th, Kathy. That's awesome. Yes, number 2 for Brenda. Congrats. My 2 I got from Helen, my 2 bluebirds.
Okay. And Helen. Writing that down.
Congrats, ladies.
All right, and my second item is the one. Now look, let me take that off. Ooh. See how much bigger this one is than the other 2?
Oh, yeah.
But his beak is broken.
Aww.
He has a broken beak. I've not tried to sand it down. I've not done anything to it. He is only going to be $5. This is also a Ron Ray. This one is 1992, where again, I graduated in 91.
92, whoop, whoop.
A big bird. He's not the biggest, though. I think I have one bigger. But a bigger bird than the other ones. He's only going to be $5 because his beak is broken. He's 3.5 inches long, and height-wise stands just under 3 inches. So, $5, number 10. Oh, poor Kathy. $5, number 10. And Helen, I popped into your sale yesterday, but
Nice.
I just gave a thumbs up and then had to move on. I didn't have time to hang out, but I did see you having a sale yesterday.
There's nothing wrong with retail therapy. I try to do it every weekend. I try. Okay. So now last week I showed you all this guy. Then this week I found 2 more. So we're going to do instant collection time. And I finally figured out who did these. So the pattern or the shape is octagonal, and they were done by a glass company called Independence Glass Company. They did these. These are water goblets. These are water or wine goblets. I mean, these are ridiculously large, chunky, thick, mid-century modern goblets. So Independence Glass Company did have a very short lifespan. I do not remember if I even had looked it up, their lifespan. But very mid-century modern. So you're going to get these 2 baby pieces. Now, one of them does have a little flea bite here on the end of the corner, right in here. It's going to be really hard to kind of show that, but it's a little bit of a flat spot. So the person who had owned these previously, these 2, had been using them for candles, which insight is not actually a bad idea. You can put some nice little chunky pillar candles in there and it'll look really pretty, really good for the outside. And on top of it, you will get this baby right here, which is also some kind of fancy glass to drink out of. I would use it for ice cream sundaes, just saying. So instant collection, you get 3 pieces. 3 awesome, there we go, pieces. These came in all different colors, every color you can think of, including black. And when I find the black ones, I'm going to grab the black ones. So there we go. And the Amberina ones are gorgeous. Can't wait to find those either. But I said I had this one at home. I had to pick up these other 2. So instant collection, set of 3. And if you're interested in all 3, it's going to be $15, number 89. $15, number 89 on these guys. And like I said, I would use these babies as candle holders, and I would use them. Of course, I knocked that piece over. Outside, on your porch, sitting down, or on your deck, and not worry about them because that one does have that little tiny nick, and they're oddly utilitarian because they're chunky. Okay, my next piece. This is my favorite piece. So I have Fenton Aqua Crest. This is 4 inches tall. This one piece here, this is the lighter Aqua Crest. This is from 1941 to 1943. They discontinued them after that. So there is no little Fenton baby here. It would have had a sticker. So see, 4-inch tall guy. Double crimped base. And it's the lighter color. Then they came back and the color was just slightly darker, but even the slightly darker ones, so even if I'm way wrong with the color of the Aqua Crest, The Aqua Crest line ended in 1953. So this is a piece from the 40s. But I'm pretty sure I'm right that this is the 1941 to 1943 piece. Like I said, it's a little baby, no condition issues, are really great for this time of the year. I know, I know, Bonnie. I actually did this week. I actually did it on purpose because I had so much cobalt. So if you're interested in this little tiny baby guy here, he's going to be $15. Good deal on him. $15, number 85. And those are my two. Thank you.
Oh, that would look perfect in a spring display. That color is perfect.
Love that color.
All right. I have got the Fenton Hobnail in the Colonial Green fairy lamp. Now, no chips, no damage here at all. This one does have Fenton imprinted on the bottom. And then here on the top, I'm just double checking. I don't see any. Sometimes there's some chipping here. I don't see any chipping there. No chipping here. And these are just the little ones if you're not familiar with them, although I think everybody is. And
I call them pickle.
Yeah, Nikki calls them pickle fairy lamps. I've got this one in custard glass in my uranium collection, and I've got it in amber because all of my other fairy lamps are amber. And this one's the odd man out. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to put it up for sale. So I'm not going to do an offer up. I'm just going to do a straight price. It's $35, number 20. And that gives you a size idea on a standard index card. $35, number 20. Yeah, the green especially.
Yeah, the green especially looks like a pickle.
And I had actually bought this one from Skunky Junk back in 2021.
I have a uranium one of those, but it's not Fenton. It's a remake from a Fenton mold with uranium glass. Kind of, I love it. It's one of my faves.
Now, the next two items, I had these all displayed together, and I'm going to show you why. So here's the fairy lamp, and here's the two pieces. Now, you might think that this is the bottom to a fairy lamp. But I'm going to tell you why I don't think it is. Because all three of my fairy lamps in this style have these little bits that you can, there you saw it. That was, oh, I can't get that back. But these little extra bits in the glass mold that the lid sits on, this does not have that. Which is why then I was combing through catalogs to try and figure out what this is. So I don't know. I don't know if this is an older fairy lamp bottom before they started putting these extra, there you can see the extra little bits right there to set the thing on. So I don't know if the older ones didn't have that and maybe it's the bottom to a fairy lamp. I don't know. But I had all of these pieces displayed together. They make a really pretty display. This one is their candle holder. You could put a taper in there. You could also put a votive candle, or the smaller pillar candles will fit in these. And this one is older. It does not have the Fenton on the bottom. So these two pieces do not have the Fenton. So these two pieces are older, but I had them all displayed together. They made a really pretty display. $12, number 16. $12, number 16, okay. And I see Becky for the fairy lamp.
And what's really cool about Fenton did do a whole line where they just did bases for candlescaping, where they would have the pillar candles, and then, as we call them now, the trash-tastic little wreaths that went around the candles. So they did them in bigger sizes. So that's actually
I got one of the bigger ones in amber.
Yeah, they're gorgeous in that hobnail. Okie dokie. Up next, I found this guy. I actually saw him, left him, then came back a week later or 2 weeks later. It was still there, and I picked it up. So I was like, oh, well, it's Easter, and this guy's just screaming for jelly beans to fill him up because it's a nice little clear guy, and he's really skinny. This is Westmoreland. Nope, sorry, lied. This is Imperial Imperial glass, Monticello.
I love the basket pattern on the basket.
Yeah. Or it is also called waffle block. This is from, they started making these in the 20s. So this is like the 20s, the 30s, this bridal basket.
Yeah,
now the handle itself.
That pattern seemed older.
Yeah, this one is definitely older. The handle itself is there are rough spots on just the one side. So the side that's facing you, there are these like little rough like flea bites I can feel with my hand. The other side is super smooth. So I don't know, some glass flea must have just like been chewing its way all the way around the one side, not the other side. But applied handles there. The handles are really kind of cool. I shouldn't say applied handles because they're not. I lied. It's a pressed piece. There's the bottom. I checked to see if this baby glows. It does not. This is definitely an older piece. But like I said, screaming for some jelly beans in there. It is 10 inches tall, but it's only, this was the widest point here is 6 inches and at the base is 4. So it will fit, because I have a Westmoreland one that's enormous, and this one is not. This is a smaller one. So imperial glass, 1920s, maybe 1930s, because they kind of were in that neck of the woods there too. And because, yeah, it's very close. Because it has those little, like, flea bitey little babies in there. We're going to do a $13, number 73. $13, number 73 on that one. I thought for Easter, this would be lovely. If you don't want to use jelly beans, use your Easter grass. Yes, nice. I love that about Scott.
Yeah, me too.
He taught me so much when I was learning stuff. You got it, Brenda.
George's first.
Oh, what's yours?
73.
I
Did you have a 73 or was she?
I do have a 73. That was the milk base. So let me know if that was, if you wanted the what I just showed, the basket, Georgia, or if you wanted the milk, the Anchor Hocking milk base, because I did have a 73 too. So let me know. Let me know. While I'm waiting, I'm going to
lagging.
Yeah, yeah. While I'm waiting,
you're doing.
I'll do my last one while I'm waiting for the answer to that question. So I found these little babies. Cheers. She might be lagging big time. These are Anchor Hocking Bloopy. Here are the bloopies on the bottom. Now these are etched.
No, she's not lagging.
Basket, but Brenda can have it. Okay, so you're not lagging. All right, if you're sure, I will do that. Okay. Nice. Congrats. Okay, so a bloopy babies, and etched. And I don't know, for some reason I got this like holiday vibe off of these, like garland and around or lights. I just got a holiday vibe. I could be really wrong. Could not identify the etching pattern. So they made these, usually they were made blank. Some of them were etched. And I can actually feel the etching too, which is really cool. A few of them were etched in different patterns. Could not find this particular pattern. Oh, did I? Thank you, Kathy. See, I don't know how to read my own writing. Thank you. I will get better about that. So there we go. Set up 2 of these. They're really kind of pretty, actually. These would be lovely little lemonade glasses or fancy water glasses. Mm-hmm. So set of 2 of these guys. Anchor Hocking bloopy with the etching on the base. And I'm not going to hold it like that. I can see me dropping. No, it's just me. Always read the card. Don't listen to Nikki. This will be number 93 for $70. $70. See? Read the card. Just read the card. Don't listen to what I say. $10, number 93 for this out of 2. I'm done now.
Oh my goodness.
My dehydration. I was sick all last week, so my dehydration is catching up with me.
$70. We love Monday. Okay, before I show my last 2 items, I do want to remind everybody that we will not be live next week, but we will have a static sale on my channel, both of us. Nikki's going to cut it together, so you'll get to still watch us both. And then the week after, when we come back, we will be covering Atterbury glass, which is antique glass. And then the week after that will be your questions. So remember, if you have any glass questions, make sure that you pop it into the chat. Make sure that you email us. Make sure you send an Instagram message, whatever. We collect them all, and then once a month we do a whole question episode. Poor Georgia.
Sorry, I'll live it down eventually.
We love you, Georgia. We're so happy you're here today.
Oh, goodness gracious.
And a little self-promotion. Don't forget that my birthday is in May. I now have a P.O. box, and I'm asking you guys if you have a few minutes to drop me a birthday card or just a little note. I'm going to be opening them all on my live on my Wednesday sale in the middle of May for my 50th birthday. So tomorrow starts 50-day countdown to my 50th birthday. And my daughter's like, fabulous 50, Mom. Fabulous 50.
That's right.
Fabulous 50. All right. My next item is interesting because
I love this piece.
it glows. I cannot explain it because it looks like a very typical Fenton hobnail egg shaped little vase that they did, but it glows. It's been in my uranium collection forever, but I mentioned in the last couple of weeks that I've got to start to narrow it down because I've got new pieces and I can't have everything, can't have all the things. This has very cool legs.
Oh, it does.
Split right here in the little legs, so it's tri-footed. No chips, no cracks. It's not marked Fenton, although it absolutely seems Fenton. It's, got the pointy, it's, but it glows. I have no explanation for it glowing. Somebody told me once that maybe they had done glowy glass in the mold before they did this one, and there was still some, oh, I have a letter opener, girl.
I was like, if not, I'll send her one. I've got a whole bunch.
Look at my super cool brass letter opener. I got a letter opener.
Love it.
But anyway, somebody said they may have had a uranium glass in the mold or in the pail they were mixing in it. I don't know, but it's a cool piece. It's a very cool piece. $15, number 8. And there's the size of it. So what about 6 inches, 5 inches? $15, number 8 on the Fenton hobnail egg that glows. And it's not got a manganese glow because you guys can't see a manganese glow. It doesn't come across. That's a uranium glow. It's very weird. Okay, last piece.
You got Dax for that piece. At least I think that's what it is.
Awesome. Got you down. So this is my last piece for the day. People have asked about this because it has been sitting behind me forever and ever, and I wasn't going to sell it ever.
So pretty.
Because it's one of the very first glass pieces I picked up when I started doing all of this. Also, it's got chips. So I'm going to show you the bottom piece first with no chips. Oh, there's cat hair in it, of course. So no chips. Super pretty. This is the 10-inch, 10.5-inch. And a lot of times the lids on these are missing and people call them compotes and try and sell them. Nothing wrong with that. Just be aware that if it's got this shape and it's not flared out, it should have had a lid. If it's flared out, it was meant to not have a lid and just be an open dish. This is beautiful. Has beautiful glow from the cadmium. Now here's where the problem is. Almost every one of these points has a chippy chip. And then it has, let me find the actual, it has a chip right there. So right here, that's a full-on chip. And every point has a chip. This was a well-loved and well-used candy dish. So this grandma did not care that her grandkids kept banging that against the edge. She didn't care. You can't really see it for the most part when it's displayed. Especially if it's displayed like behind me, you wouldn't even have known it had a chip. But price on this is going to be super cheap for this particular Amberina candy dish. I remember back in 2021 when these were selling on like Misty's for like $60 to $100. Bye, Georgia. $15. $15, number 7, because of the chips. You get a fantastic deal. It is a gorgeous piece. And if you're going to just set it up and display it, nobody's going to know. And if you're going to put candy in it, nobody will care because it's already chipped. And that's the last one I got gorgeous for today. There we are.
There we go. Hey, I went a whole show without going blurry.
Yes.
No idea what's been happening.
All right.
Becky's
like, 7. I'm going to jump on that, Amberina.
I do not blame you. So heads up to anybody who's watching on the replay. If you saw something that didn't sell, email us. Email us. Let us know if you're interested. We'll let you know if it's still available.
I think I do. I think you've made a purchase before because your name is not actually Dex Delaney, right? You don't have to say your name, but I'm pretty sure I've got your info. I will not be invoicing until starting Wednesday night through Thursday, Friday. I have a static sale up right now. If you haven't seen it yet, there's 5 of the 12 items have sold, but there's still 7 items that haven't sold if you want to go check that out. And I will be back Wednesday morning for my regular coffee chat and small sale. And I did already finish my, let me go back and see what number 12 was. I did already finish my prompt for my altered book for this week, and I love it. I think it's super cute, so I can't wait to show you guys. That was the lime green hen on nest. It has not sold, Becky. Okay, pretty sure that I have your info.
Okay.
I'm 99.9% sure. And I'm going to share it with Nikki because Nikki needed it too.
I thought I had yours, and I don't know. I couldn't find you, darling. I will invoice you for the drop sale I did last week, right after the show. Sorry about that. I usually put everyone's screen name, and for some reason, I guess I didn't put your screen name. I don't know. I usually try to do that so I don't, forget that.
Yeah, sometimes we get a little confused.
Yeah, it's easy. It happens. It happens.
Lime green on nest.
I still have a static that's up. I did a bunch of smalls. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. After today, I'm going to be like, the prices won't be good anymore, but I'm going to do another drop on Wednesday. This is going to be antique and vintage books. I have quite a few antique books and magazines. So be sure to check that out. And then Thursday, I'll be over on Whatnot doing antique and vintage ephemera. Whole bunch. Because I didn't get to do that last week.
Your swan you had in your smalls with the really swoopy neck.
The really swoopy neck.
That was drool worthy.
I love the swans. Now you've got me into swans. I can't. Every time I see them, I'm like, oh, Claudia would love this. Oh, Claudia would love this one. Especially when they're different colors and shape.
Yeah. All right. I think that's all.
Yeah.
So we will not be here next week, but we'll have a nice static sale up, and we're going to do some markdown items for you guys. Yep. So that'll be fun. And we'll be back the week after, but we'll still have I don't know what I'm doing next week for my Wednesday sale, but I have my sale this week, and Nikki will have her sales as usual. All the links are below in the description box, my P.O. box, all of Nikki's Instagram, her Whatnot, everything is there. So we'll see you guys later.
Thanks, everyone.
Happy spring, everybody.